Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining Tokenism Info Initiative, our session 2. We really appreciate everyone joining in today. My name is Mohsin Masud, and I am the founder for Tokenism. Tokenism is a platform looking to democratize real estate investments by utilizing blockchain on our back end. We consider ourselves to be a real estate investment management company, where we're enabling everyone to invest in real estate, in commercial real estate, with as little as $1,000, and you have the ability for a secondary market for trading your assets. The agenda for today is I will be going through and giving you a brief introduction on what tokenism is, going over some of our demo videos, showing you some of the features, and then doing a live demo on our platform as it sits right now, just to give you a feel of where we're at, how we're doing, and how everything is going. Some updates on our expected launch dates. We're looking at launching in the next couple of weeks. Our platform should be going live. This is our alpha release, V1, which is more of a test release, or a test run, so go slow of sorts, and we do a full launch at the end of the year with a full marketing push at that point. So without delaying it any further, I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation with about tokenism. And just bear with me as I share my screen. So tokenism is building an innovative AI and blockchain-based platform for fractionalized real estate investing. Essentially, what that means is we're tokenizing real estate assets, we're splitting them up into smaller pieces, and we're making them available for buy and sell by listing them as securities with the SEC and FINRA. Our model uses proprietary blockchain technology to remove the entrenched barriers within the commercial real estate market, opening up the world of institutional grade real estate investing to a vastly larger global pool of investors. So we're looking at marketing our platform, not just in the United States, but across the world. The real estate sector challenges, we've tried to outline how we're resolving each problem. So there's a high barrier to entry right now. Everyone wants to invest in real estate, but is not able to because of the high cost of buying an asset. So we've brought down the minimum investments to $1,000. Real estate is a highly illiquid investment asset, and we've kind of worked around that, and we've created a secondary marketplace which provides near instant liquidity. What happens with that is the fact that once there's a buyer found for a seller, the transaction takes no longer than 60 seconds to complete. We're eliminating the potential of fraud. So right now, there's a major market for title insurance and for intermediaries in order to reduce the fraud within real estate transactions. Blockchain provides high-grade security and immutable record of ownership, which completely eliminates the potential of fraud. Our low return, currently the problem in the market is low returns due to inefficiencies. If you're investing through in a syndicated deal or through a fund or in a REIT or a crowd-funded platform, you've got multiple layers of management which take up a large chunk of the returns. In our case, you're investing directly in an asset with no intermediaries, and you're getting significantly higher returns on each asset. Day-to-day management issues. So for people who actually end up buying real estate assets, they've got to maintain records, plenty of paperwork. They've got to deal with tenants, maintenance calls, or for that matter, property managers. Now, with us, investing is as simple as a click. You don't have anything to do, any of those problems to deal with. So in light of COVID-19, we've had to adjust our business model a little bit. We've increased our advisor involvement. We've adjusted our roadmap. So we were originally slated to launch Q2 of this year. We've adjusted it to a point where we're doing a Reg C launch, an alpha launch in the next couple of weeks, followed by a formal launch at the end of the year, getting a broker-dealer license in 2021, and our ATS license the following year. We've done a very detailed review of our costs, and we've done a very detailed sensitivity analysis on it as well. And we've reprioritized the platform, how we've developed it, how it works in the short term and the long term. And we no longer need to rely on third parties. So for our roadmap, real quick, we're doing our launch, Reg C beta launch or V1 launch in the next couple of weeks. We do a formal launch of the online platform with a full push at the end of this year. Q2, we expect to secure our broker-dealer license, Q2 of 2021. And then Q1 of 2022, we expect to secure our full alternative trading system license, at which point we become open for retail investors. Prior to the ATS license, we are only open to accredited investors, but at the same time, we still have the secondary market available for generating that liquidity. The market opportunity, talking about the total market is about $278 trillion in terms of the global real estate market. We looked at multiple reports where the average annual US commercial real estate transaction volume from 2001 to 2018, which covers 2 downturns in the real estate cycle and obviously a couple of upturns as well, and stable markets, is about $320 billion a year. Tokenism aims to capture about $10 billion of that over 5 years, and that's what our target is. Tokenism lists 3 different kinds of assets. 1 is stable income properties, 2 is redevelopment properties, and 3 is ground up developments. Our process emphasizes on security, privacy, immutability of the blockchain, and multi-sig wallets provide high degree of security for everyone investing in and using the platform. All of our vendors and our platforms comply with GDPR and CCPA as well. Our business model is simple. We're a transaction-based model. We don't buy any assets. We don't make any capital investments on real estate assets. We charge a 2% transaction fee on tokens sold, purchased, dividends paid, quarterly rentals, and so on. How we compare to the market right now is fairly simple. We would be charging a 3% listing fee, and that fee will be charged as a buyer's premium in the beginning, but it will move on as a seller's premium, which compares to anywhere between 4 and 7% of traditional real estate marketing costs. We also charge a minimalistic due diligence fee to the listing to the asset owners before we list it, and that's purely to cover the cost of due diligence and getting a commitment from the owner for listing the platform, for listing their asset on our platform. Our customer acquisition strategy is fairly extensive. We expect our customer acquisition costs to be about $500 a customer for the first year and a half. And once we get our exchange license, and we go full retail, we expect that cost to drop significantly, since we move away from accredited investors only to open to the world at that point. And we'll acquire investors via conventional advertising and organic awareness. We will also be pursuing partnerships with major brokers, financial advisors, and wealth managers to get those customers on our platform. Just to give you a quick rundown on how we foresee our property listing and investor acquisition projections. In the first 6 months or in the last 2 quarters this year, we expect to have 10 listings on the platform and 2,000 investors. Mind you, we've already secured 14 listings that we're adding to the platform. For the next year, we expect to have another 40 listings on the platform with an additional 2,000 investors in the same period. And following that, once we have our exchange license, we expect to add another 2,300 listings in the next 2 years, and we expect to see major growth in our investor in the number of investors on the platform. Again, the reason for that is that once we have our exchange license, that truly enables us to go after the full retail investors, which is anyone and everyone out there. But prior to that, it is limited to accredited investors only. Our investor growth is driven by multi-model marketing and educational campaigns and partnership with financial advisors and wealth managers, and our listings are growth through our marketing and our sales staff, along with partnership with brokerages and institutions. Customer acquisition, we expect our spend from when we do our full launch, so at the end of this year, to be starting at $75,000 a month and jumping up all the way, capping at about $2 million a month at the end of year 5. We expect a fairly low churn rate based on conventional equities trading platforms. So once you have investors on the platform, if the platform provides the right services, usually your clients are very loyal to the platform. This is what we're looking at doing for acquiring customers, with a brief timeline as well, whether it's organic growth, SEO, drip marketing, educational campaigns, trade journals, online advertising, TV commercials, industry podcasts, and so on. We provide a very unique ownership structure, and our platform utilizes SPVs to facilitate multi-owner structures. Getting multiple owners within a single asset is difficult to manage, but it is fairly unique, and we've developed this with our legal team. The property owner or developer requests to list an asset. Tokenism performs all the due diligence on the asset and creates an SPV for the eventual closing. The asset is tokenized, allowing the owner or developer to sell shares of the asset while retaining some equity if they choose to, so that they can sell part of it if they like. Investors use their stablecoins or their digital dollars, which is specific to our platform only, to purchase shares of the assets. The stablecoins are then locked and securing the committed funds. Once the minimum number of shares have sold, or minimum number of tokens for that matter, the funds are released to Tokenism Management. Tokenism Management performs a traditional closing on the asset, and then the asset is actually transferred over into the SPV. SPV is wholly owned by the token owners. Tokenism Management only acts as a fiduciary on behalf of the token owners. We appoint new management for the asset. So if there's an asset owned by an individual, the individual would no longer maintain and manage the asset. Now, if the asset is owned by an institutional owner or a well-renowned developer and asset manager, we would ask them to retain the management in order for the best performance of the asset. In case of a development project, Tokenism would hold the funds and would only release those funds in tranches as progress happens on each of those projects. We would not be listing any and every development project or ground-up development, redevelopment or ground-up development project on the platform. There is extensive due diligence and vetting and background checks required to ensure that the sponsor has substantial experience and has a proven track record before their assets start getting listed on the platform. The alignment of incentives is there for property owners, brokers, investors, property developers. So property owners have increased access to liquidity. They have lower listing fees, no platform onboarding fees, no asset management headaches, potential for quicker and easier close due to more buyers with a smaller purchase price. Property developers have an increased ease of raising capital, the ability to shift focus and have the ability to shift their focus on development rather than cap table management. They get a maintained capitalization table and distribution documents. Investor relations is purely through the Tokenism platform and portal. Simple distributions, simple communications. For brokers, there's broker fees. Yes, the initial fees a little bit lower, but they have increased number of sales, increased optionalities for clients, higher volume, more transactions result in higher overall commissions, and most importantly, brokers would be getting trailer fees over the life of every asset that they bring on the platform. Investors have high expected returns and increased diversification, ability to invest in visual assets, which is not there for other people there. There's a secondary market that enables high liquidity, and it assists in the whole process, and secure and hassle-free investment, so zero headache investments. You don't have to be involved in day-to-day management issues. Our competition. There's a few tokenization platforms out there. Two of the most renowned ones are BlockEmo and Realty. BlockEmo has had only 2 demo properties since 2018, and the project hasn't really taken off much. This is a Swiss-based project which is not available to U.S. customers, and it doesn't comply with U.S. regulations. Realty is a Detroit-based platform. They focus mostly, or for the most part, most of the assets that they have listed on there are either residential single-family assets or fairly small multifamily assets. And their true focus is on the Detroit market, but by looking at their listings at this point. Their implementation is also fairly limited. It's not the most user-friendly platform, and they have a secondary market that is coming up, but it's a fairly complicated process, not for your everyday user, but simple for your day-to-day cryptocurrency users. They're using fiat rather than cryptocurrency, and wherever cryptocurrency is involved, there is high volatility risks because they're not using a stablecoin of their own. They're working with existing cryptocurrencies in the market. We believe the core disadvantage these competitors face is their lack of deep real estate experience, and early tokenization plays in real estate sector have been led by tech-focused companies rather than real estate market expertise. Then there's the security token issuers. The security token issuers such as Harbor, Polymath, Securitize are there for their platforms that enable sponsors to tokenize their assets, but that's all that they do. They don't provide they don't offer a mechanism for management, syndication, marketing, buying and selling tokens, secondary markets. So they're a small piece of the puzzle, but they're not the entire thing. Then there's real estate equity plays, whether it's Compound or there's crowdfunding platforms like Fundrise or Cadre, or there's REITs, and each one has its own benefits or downsides. So REITs offer high liquidity but significantly lower returns. Crowdfunding platforms like Fundrise require or suggest a 5-year minimum investment horizon. Cadre, on the other hand, requires a $50,000 minimum investment, and again, Cadre is also for accredited investors only. Compound is a fractional real estate ownership who focuses on flagship asset or smaller assets in larger markets. However, the company's equity ownership structure provides a very low ROI as they target high visibility properties with the possibility of capital gains and no attention to stable income or the long-term growth of the asset. Our competitive edge is we take a hybrid approach to creating the world's leading real estate tokenization platform. Our team is led by deeply experienced global real estate market investors and world-class trading platform developers. While other platforms struggle to list inventory, our team has the expertise and the strategy to offer a significant number of assets within the first 6 months of launch. We have already secured 14 properties to be listed on the platform as we start off. We're working with regulators from the very beginning, ensuring the long-term viability of the platform and ensuring that we are a regulator-compliant platform. Our USD-backed stablecoin or our digital currency or our digital dollars are completely eliminate any volatility associated with digital currencies or cryptocurrencies, while we're providing a high level of security and instant settlement by using these. We make real estate investment more accessible and efficient by tokenizing assets while providing near instant liquidity through a secondary trading market. So just a quick run through over our financials. We expect our revenue in the first half to be minuscule at about $161,000. We'll have 5 months before the end of the year into limited launch. We're not expecting too many investors. We're not expecting too many trades. Second year, we're expecting to see some added investors coming on. Still, we're not in the retail market space. It's actually sometime in Q1 of 2022 where we expect to hit the full retail customers and we start seeing growth in the platform. And as you can see, the growth numbers start to stabilize. Year-on-year growth starts to go down and starts to stabilize. And by year 5, it's a full, by the end of year 4 and year 5, it's a fully stable number. Our SG&A numbers are about $790,000 for the first half or the second half of 2020, 4.7 mil for 2021, 11 mil for 2022. In terms of net income, we don't expect to be cash flow positive till 2022, and we expect to see a decent growth on that front. Our cash at the beginning of the period, we're looking at raising $2.2 million during the seed round, where we expect cash flow, and we expect to raise another Series A sometime in 2021, and we expect to be cash flow positive sometime in 2022, enabling us to have a dividend payout to all the investors and owners, a very small one at the end of 2022, but a slightly increasing one moving forward from there. Just some of these numbers may seem slightly high, but just to put this in perspective, the projected market share of the U.S. real estate transactions that we at Tokenism intend to capture by 2023 is only 1%. It's $4 billion, and we're very confident that we can achieve that in over a period of the next 3 years, and we should be able to hit that target. That's out of 320 billion of an average year's transactions within the commercial real estate side, that's still 316 billion happening in a traditional mechanism. So our team, this is our core team only. It is led by very experienced people. We've got 30 years, more than 30 years of real estate experience, more than 40 years of data analytics and technology, 12 plus years of blockchain development, 80 plus years of management, and more than 15 years of marketing and sales. If you have any questions, feel free. There's a questions section on the webinar. Feel free to type in any questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions. While I just go over a few more details, just going to show you our cash and burn rate. This is where we are right now. We're looking at raising our seed round over here. We expect that by June 2021, we would have raised our Series A, and by May of 2022, we expect to hit our break-even point. So the $2.2 million that we're raising, what do we intend on doing with it? Our uses are some on salaries and benefits. Advertising and marketing is our second biggest cost. Product development and other costs of sales, some overheads other than that. So we're looking at spending about over 30% on advertising and marketing. Our salaries and benefit numbers is at 53%, but we have 100% of all of the product development in-house. We have not outsourced anything, and we're not going much to third parties for the core product development. Yes, we use reliable third parties for financial processing and data processing, PI processing. But other than that, everything else is in-house for us. We've identified some risks and what we're doing to mitigate these. Generating a substantial number of listings. We've already got 14 assets to list on the platform. We're actively partnering up with real estate developers, brokers, project sponsors to get those assets on the platform. Creating a large investor base to ensure ample liquidity on the platform. Our investor base will be driven through a multi-model approach, including organic growth, drip marketing, and partnerships. We've brought on industry veterans and we've started hiring a great sales team to ensure early brand development and awareness. Significant SEO measures are being put in place, substantial marketing efforts to begin driving customer growth is obviously going to be there. Driving regular market events and transactions to ensure strong fee-based revenue uplift. Our fees are significantly lower than traditional brokers, and our barriers to entry is significantly lower than traditional real estate. Our platform truly provides the opportunity for regular market interaction for real estate investors, creating investor-friendly and active marketplaces. So we've got a question at this point. What are the ways that we'll keep investors in the loop? How do we keep track of all the developments as tokenism moves forward? For investors in the platform, we send out monthly updates, email updates, unless there's some significant changes or there is an event that's coming up. We try and sending that information in the middle. For investors for the platform, they're able to set their email preferences and their text message preferences, but we try and send them out every notification possible so they stay up to date as soon as any information is updated on any of the assets that they're involved in or they've favorited or they're looking at buying or they've bought or any activity on their platform. I hope I've answered your question. If you have more, feel free. So this brings an end to this presentation. I'm going to quickly shift over to our to the video. Actually, I'll shift over to a live demo real quick before. So yeah, shifting over to a live demo before we do. I show you some of the videos for some of the detail transactions, which are difficult to perform as a single person. And so this is our website, and I'm reloading it just so that you can see. You can go here. This is prototype.tokenism.io. Signing up is fairly simple. You can obviously scroll through to get some of the basic information there. In order to sign up, you click on Get Started. We gather some basic information as to what investment amounts are you trying to get, what your targets are for your investments, so we can send you appropriate marketing material on that. Fill out some very basic information. So Mian Mohsin Masud. I'm going to use a disposable email, which is you get a quick notification that you got to verify your email address before you can proceed any further. So we go ahead. We've got this welcome email. We verify it. It opens a new window. Go ahead and put in the address. All right. Date of birth. And you've got to put in, so I can't enter a random number. So if I say 340, there's a validator in place. So it's got to be a valid number that gets placed, that gets added over here. So now at this time, for the purpose of the demo, we've kind of shut off the validator on this, but there's a validator on this as well. So as soon as your personal information is in, you can easily connect a bank account. We are not getting any information from whatever bank account you choose to connect. We have partnered up with Plaid. Plaid is one of the most secure providers out there who tokenizes information from your bank account. So we don't get to see anything, and all that it does is it directly connects whatever bank account you want to connect, whether and they have a very large network of banks that they work with. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to skip this step real quick. Got to agree to our terms of use, our privacy policies, and the next step is connecting a wallet. Now, for advanced blockchain users, using MetaMask is fairly simple, but we expect most of our users would not. So we just use the Tokenism wallet. All that requires is an email address, and that's all that it'll take. And I'll show you how that works out as well. So Mohsin Masud 987@yotmail.com. And so they send a verification code out right here. Sorry, 695750. I get to create a password. Sorry. Wow. I can't type. And it's a simple time and process. Nothing difficult. It's something that anyone can do. I can get my parents to sign up on this, and I don't have to worry about whether they can understand blockchain, or they can create a MetaMask wallet or not. The next step is ID verification. For our ID verification, we have partnered up with IdentityMind or Accurate, one of the leading KYC providers for various banks and organizations. Fairly simple process. You select the country where you're at, you select what kind of document you want to use to verify. You do a front image capture, a back image capture. It shows up as a QR code. As soon as I upload the right file, it will. I scan the QR code on my phone. It opens up the camera. It sees if it's a valid one or not. It goes ahead and it uploads it, brings me back to the screen. I can try doing that right now as well, actually, just to give you an idea. I don't think I'd be able to share my phone screen with you for that. But as I do that, It's captured the front screen on my phone, and the front image is submitted successfully. Similarly, I would capture the back image. Got to go through the same thing again. We've got to do this 3 times, front, back, and then after this is a liveness check to ensure that it's the same person whose ID is being put in place. You've got to take a selfie. I've got the back picture taken, and it should upload here in a quick second. There we go. Move on to the next one. I've got to capture an image of her face. It's captured that. Now that all the documents and the pictures have been taken, I get to submit it, and we get to we've completed the ID verification process. When it turns yellow, it's actually Akin is verifying your ID. We don't have a response from them. So as soon as the response is in, it usually takes a few minutes. This would turn green. At this point, I'm going to change over to my account on Tokenism using MetaMask just because I have various assets that I already own on that, and it'll be easier to show you the different aspects of the platform. So now that I've signed in on using my MetaMask wallet, as you can see, this is what the dashboard looks like. As soon as you sign in, it gives you a quick overview of what is going on with your portfolio, what balance do you have available. So this is a hidden feature just so that no one can just see that. You've got your wallet where you're able to deposit, withdraw, look at your history. This takes a little bit of time to load up every aspect of it, purely because this is live information from the blockchain. This is not something that we're keeping on our servers, so very secure information. If I want to deposit money, fairly simple. The bank account that I connected at the beginning, I can select whether I want to whichever bank account I want, and I can keep on adding as many accounts as I want. I also have the ability to add a bank account manually, where that information gets sent to Plaid in order to connect that bank account. But we don't retain any of that information. We're going to deposit $4,900, and there we go. We're processing your payment. You can see that the status of the payment is processing. It says $4,900 is deposited, and in a quick second, I'll refresh it, and it should say process that completed. So the $4,900 I deposited is completed at this point. I've made some money on it. I want to withdraw some money from the platform. I've got $300,000 on there. I want to withdraw, let's say, $4,500 off the platform. It is showing a transaction fee over here of 2%, but we have no fees for withdrawing and depositing. This fee would be there would be a fee charged only if you want same-day deposits. Otherwise, deposits show up in your financial institution the next morning. I just go ahead and I confirm the transaction on my MetaMask wallet, and it says your transaction is mining. It'll take a second for the asset for the transaction to go through. The next aspect is my portfolio. This shows you various different assets. So now I've logged in, I've deposited money in my wallet. I want to go and look at listings, what is available to buy, what are the returns on it. So I go on the listings page. There's a bunch of properties. I favorited this one. I like what this one looks like, so I'm going to put this in my favorites as well. And I like this one, so I'll put this in my favorites as well. Now I want to go ahead and I want to start investing I want to see more details on this property. Hey, this is what it looks like on the inside. Let's go through some more pictures. Okay, this is a decent apartment building. Uh, there's 10 units in there, minimum investment's $1,000. We're looking at an IRR over 10 years of 15%. That seems decent to me. I think I could live with that. It's got fairly low debt to equity ratio. Let's see where the investment stands on it. So click on invest now. Wow, the goal has been met. So it's in active trading right now. So not only are there a few tokens left from the original sale, but there are also other people who are listing their tokens on this platform. So or for this asset, and this is where the secondary market tokens essentially show up. So what the difference is that these tokens, the original sales, I can only buy at the $1,000 ask price, and there's not much more. I'm paying a fee for the on the transaction side. But the difference when it comes to buying from a secondary seller or someone in the secondary market is I can actually counter their offer. They want $1,250 for it. I know I can get it for $1,000 if I want. I'll buy from them if he sells it to me for $950. So I'm going to confirm that, confirming the transaction. Now, because this is happening live over the blockchain, this takes a few seconds. I can, while this is happening, this is where the assets that I put in favorites all show up. And again, you can choose what kind of, how you want to split this up, what filters you want to look at. But at the same time, there's also these notifications that show up. This is, what is happening with some of the tokens that are listed there or not. So now that I've placed that offer, I don't know what is going on with it. Where do I go to check onto it? I can go to my portfolio on the dashboard. The counter offer has been placed successfully. So this is in my portfolio under the deal room is all active deals that I am working on. So I've just put in an offer to buy 2 of these tokens at $950. I've gotten offers for some of my listed tokens at $1,900. I have put in offers to purchase. I have put in some tokens to sell, which I can cancel these listings if I don't have any active offers on those. And I have an offer I have a counter on a buy offer that I had put out there on one of the properties. So we'll see what happens with the owner for this asset, and I'll show you a quick video of what happens when they put in a counter, or either they can accept it, they can reject it, or they have the opportunity to counter it. This whole cycle can go on twice. You can go and look at your transaction history and see what tokens have you bought, have you sold, have you all of that. You can look at your investment history, where that stands. So I just got a notification right at the bottom that my offer on the token was accepted. I also see a notification over here that the offer that I placed for $950 got accepted. So if I go to the deal room, that offer that we placed is no more there. It actually shows up in your transaction history and your invest history. So I just bought 2 tokens in the Glenwood Apartments building for $950 each, and this is what it cost me in total. Now I own a bunch of tokens. I want to liquidate, and how do I do that? So I look at, I just bought into the Glenwood Apartments. I own some tokens, 78 tokens in Boone Street. I bought them for $1,000 each. Now I want to sell them. I need money right now, and I'm willing to sell it for $975 if someone's going to buy it, but I'm only going to sell 3 of these. So I'm going to put, create a listing. Again, there's multiple smart contracts working behind this. It takes a little bit of time, and when I say it takes a little bit of time, I mean somewhere between 20 to 40 seconds. But while the smart contract is being deployed, you have the ability of going ahead and browsing through the rest of the website. and doing whatever else needs to be done on there. That does not stop you from that. If there's any questions in the meantime, I'm happy. Well, there's another question, and I apologize, I did not see that earlier. As an investor in the platform, do I receive my dividends after the goal has been met for the property, or after all the tokens are completely sold? So the goal on a property is essentially the minimum number of tokens sold. If I own an asset which is worth $100,000, there's going to be 100 tokens out there for it. I say I want to sell at least 50% of it, and at most 70% of it. So the goal is 50 tokens. The moment 50 tokens are reached, the transaction completely closes the transaction closes in the traditional mechanism. You will receive, depending on what kind of an asset it is, and if it is a cash flow asset, you will receive your first dividend after at the end of the second quarter after that asset is listed. We have to create a decent cash reserve, because there's no capital calls for these projects or these assets like in the traditional real estate world. So you will start seeing those dividends coming out after the first 6 months, but after that they go out on a quarterly basis. How many tokens are sold or not, what matters is if the goal has been met. That's the point when the asset is officially fully tokenized and on the platform, and is moved over into that SPV. So next, what I'm going to show you is going to be actually, I don't think I need to show you any of the videos, because I've gone over pretty much everything on the live bit. But I can, one last bit is, I own an asset, and how do I sell that asset? And it's fairly simple. On our website, you can go ahead and you can submit a form, giving out some basic information. What kind of an asset is it? So let's say it's an office building. It's a stabilized cash flow. What's the street address? Is 1234 any street. Zip code is 12345. City and state is any town, any state. Country is USA. My name is John Doe, and my email address is going to be the same one that we just created, 987 which is a disposable email. So I also need to enter my cell phone number here in order to get text notifications on it as well. And let's submit the document. Let's submit the form. So someone will get back to you within 2 to 3 days. Goes back to the site just to show you what happens on the phone. I've got. Let's see if I can move. Not sure if you can see the camera, but this is what happens is, hey, John Doe, we've received your request. Someone will get back to you shortly. And while on that, you get to see an email. And let's do check email. So Tokenism sends out an email that you, oh, wait. Did I put in the right email? I might have messed up the email address when putting it in, but shortly an email gets sent out and someone gets to see this. Are there any more questions at this point? Anything that I can help answer for any of you? I'm happy to do that. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to get back to you on it. My contact information is on your screen at this time. I really appreciate everyone joining in. Once again, we're looking at raising $2.2 million for our platform. We're looking at going live in the next couple of weeks. We expect we are going to be 100% compliant platform with whether it's with SEC, FINRA, CFTC. We have been in extensive conversations with them, and our attorneys and our advisors have ensured that we remain on the compliance side. We are treating these as digital securities, and that is what they will be. We have a pathway to get to that full exchange license and go to the full retail market. And we're diligently working towards that. I'd like to thank all of you for joining in today. We're getting to the end of our time. Again, if any of you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me by email, by phone. We're happy to help out. Feel free to check out our website as well. In that, the prototype.tokenism.io section is live. You can go and you can experience that whenever you like. We've also added 3 documents in the handouts. Please feel free to go through those, to download those. There is a document on the introduction to tokenism, the owner advantages of tokenism, and sponsor and fund manager advantages for tokenism. We'll also be sending these out to you in the follow-up email. There's one last question that's there. It says how much can an investor deposit and withdraw within a week? There is no limit on what the investor can deposit or withdraw within a week. I believe there's a limit per transaction, which is about $10,000 that you have to deposit on each transaction, and there's a similar withdrawal limit as well, but you can run multiple transactions and withdraw more. If you need to deposit or withdraw significantly larger amounts, we can get you set up with a more advanced account where those limits do not exist. But yes, again, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to hearing back from you. And if you have any questions or concerns, we're very happy to answer those. I hope everyone has a great afternoon. Thank you.